Did you know that travel is not an escape? You can't run from your problems. I just want to tell that to you because the other day, a friend of mine sent me this video about, let me just tell you the title of it. Travel is the worst idea I've ever had. Okay, if you've been following my channel, my name is Sarah, hi, and I have been a full-time traveler for 6 years. I wouldn't say that I've been actually traveling for that entire 6 years because during 2020, I spent an entire year living in Argentina, and then I spent an entire year living in Colombia, and now I'm back in Colombia living. But there's this thing that happens when, okay, so this video, yes, is a good video. I mean, I follow this guy's stuff, the David Bullen. I follow his stuff sometimes. In his videos, he often talks about doing how one thing, maybe you do it expecting a certain result. For me, personally, I know travel is not running because you cannot run from your problems. However, the problem with people sending you videos such as these when I'm living a certain type of life is basically kind of like, hey, the life that you're living, did you know that it's wrong? To me, that's what it says. It says, okay, yeah, this video is interesting. I, of course, watched it actually before the person sent it to me because anything related to travel, and when people have opposite opinions or controversial opinions, I like that. I like that stuff. That's kind of why I make certain videos about certain things because, I don't know, I also, you know, social media is fake, right? So when you see a video showing you all the good, you're gonna put two and two together and be like, this is really edited. This is highly, highly edited. This isn't real. This isn't true because it's not. Because like I said in the last video, you only see snippets of someone's life when they're living on the road. This guy, he shows things that maybe you don't want to see. And in my videos, I show similar things. For example, I show myself sitting on the side of the road, like lost, not know where I'm going, things like that. No one wants to see that because that's real life. Okay, back to running. You cannot run. When I originally quit my job 6 years ago, I did it because I wanted to. Did I think that all my problems would instantly go away because I decided to choose a different path? Absolutely not. Did they all go away? Absolutely not. Do I still have the same issues? Actually, I don't have the same issues, but that's not because I started traveling. It is because I started doing work on myself to improve areas of my life that I was not happy with. Did traveling help me open up to see these problems more? Absolutely. You know why? Because when you're sitting in your comfort zone and you're having your normal everyday life and everything's the same, sometimes you are blind to what is actually happening inside of your life. For example, even me doing this YouTube channel, I have this insane fear of speaking in front of people, being included and being singled out and called upon, or talking to a camera, or having someone judge me on my opinions. Because we all have an opinion. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to agree with me, I don't have to agree with you, but that doesn't mean that we can't be friends or we can't have a relationship or something. And so traveling, so when you put yourself outside of your comfort zone is what happens. I'm gonna use traveling because this is my world right now. Well, I'm not traveling, but anyways, you know, I'm living abroad. So living abroad, traveling, let's just use that. When you are put in a situation, okay, first of all, I'm gonna tell you guys, I am horribly shy. like my whole life. I've been insanely shy. Some people say that I'm extroverted, but it's a lie because I can be if needed. But do I like to spend time alone? Absolutely. Can I be alone and not be lonely? All the time. I don't need the external stimulation. So I'm horribly, horribly, horribly terrified shy. I don't like talking to strangers. I don't like asking people questions. I don't like to be seen as someone who doesn't know what I'm doing, okay? What I've ever realized, so basically that boils down to a realization that I had about myself is that I don't like when people think that I don't know what I'm doing with my life, or I don't know what I'm doing, or anything that makes me feel less of a person, less of a human. So how does travel come into this? Because when you're traveling by yourself, every single thing wrong with you that you hide in your everyday life all of a sudden is like, hi, you need to go buy a bus ticket from someone who does not speak your language, and maybe you need to ask somebody where that bus ticket is, or how to say it, or how to this, or how to that. So you are forced outside of your comfort zone. For example, me, when I first came to Colombia, I didn't speak any Spanish, and I wanted breakfast. I have to eat, right? I had no idea. I was dripping sweat by ordering a simple coffee, and I just pointed, and then I realized, oh my God, I feel so ashamed that I don't know anything. Like, I felt like a horrible person. So then I'm like, oh wait, so why is this happening? Where is this coming from? And then you can kind of dig deep, like maybe you have feelings of feeling invalidated, or feelings of that you've been told you were wrong so many times. So fast forward now, so before, even when I spoke Spanish, I wouldn't talk to anybody. Even if I could understand them, I'm still shy about speaking, not really. I'm still shy about, I was shy about speaking, like even saying like hi or buen dia, hola, buenos dias, stuff like that, basics. I'd be like, where are you talking? I don't know how to say it. And people were like, what are you talking about? These are like basic things. So now, okay, I'm to the point, I'm still horribly shy, but I'm to the point that I'm more confident, and I can go up to a stranger and be like, hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Puedes ayudarme? Yo necesito ayuda. Por favor, ¿dónde está el bus? ¿Dónde está? So basically, I had to get to a point of like figuring out why these things bother me, because really, this random person on the street doesn't care if I use the wrong past tense. If I say caminé, caminaba, they don't care. Because they are thinking, they're like, oh, she can speak 2 sentences to me, or they don't care if I use the wrong thing. So like, I've always been really hard on myself, like in school, in everything, about like feeling like I'm wrong, because you know, we all want to be perfectionists. So how starting this channel helped me is because now I'm like, if you pick on me, I'm still gonna sweat a little bit, but I have the confidence to be able to talk about something that maybe you have a question about, or something that, you know, I have researched or discovered. So I'm getting more confident in just like things in general, not like anything specific, but not to be so shy and timid. I'm still very shy, but that is a part of my characteristic. I'm quieter by nature, but being able to have an outlet to practice talking, because I've always been like, my words get backwards, or I say the wrong thing, I mean this and I say this. Like I do that in English and in Spanish. Like I mean one thing and it comes out the other way, or like I know this full sentence and I say it and it's backwards. But I guess travel has got me, like put me outside of my comfort zone so much that I've had to tap into the parts of myself that, you know, that I might not have liked or might not have realized that I have issues with. And they basically shined a big spotlight saying, hey, you need to look at this part of your life. What are you doing, or what's going on? And, you know, if you are spiritual at all, you'll notice there's always patterns and things showing up, and like ways to get around something, or ways to help you heal in some modality or something. But back to like, but people, yeah, when they find out I've been traveling for so long, they often think, oh, what are you running from? Like while I've been traveling, I realized that I used to drink a lot to cover up my feelings. So 4 years ago, I quit drinking because I realized that was huge, something that I wanted to stop doing, because every time I'm pissed off, I would grab like a drink, and that's just not a healthy relationship to have. So 4 years ago, I decided I'm not going to do that anymore. So traveling helped me to point like a big old flashlight onto that part of my life and for me to look into and see why I was doing it or what was happening. So yeah, so that's 4 years ago, and yeah, completely, I would never have done that if I was home, because you surround yourself by people, like all my friends would go out, we would do this, you have a certain lifestyle, and when you quit something, here's something else that happens. This is gonna happen with any time. This doesn't have to deal with travel at all. Travel is just like my mode of a way for me to have discovered a lot of things about myself. And yes, it's not an escape, of course not. However, there's also other ways in your life that you're going to notice that people will always tell you what you're doing has flaws, or what you're doing is wrong, or what you're doing. Basically, when you change what you're doing, everyone is going to tell you that you shouldn't do that. Why? Because everyone, basically that old saying, misery loves company, misery loves company. If, for example, you want to lose weight, and I used to be a health coach, and you tell people, people come to you for help, and one of the biggest things that people, say is that, oh, my family's not going to support me, or my friends are going to not want to be around me, and they think that I'm fine. That's fine. If you're okay and you're happy, no matter what, that's okay. It doesn't matter. Like, if you're happy in your life, whatever you're doing should bring you happiness. However, if you are not happy and there's something in your life that you want to fix or improve upon, you are always going to get these people who say, why do you want to change? You're going to change. You're not going to be the same person. Like when I started traveling, people were like, why are you doing that? What are you running from? You're not going to get anything. You're gonna come home in 6 months. Why are you doing this? Like, because anytime that you decide to do something different that doesn't fit the mold that they see of you, they are going to be threatened. Because for some reason, what I do with my life should not affect anybody else, because I do not do anything to harm or to do to anybody else. I have opinions. My opinion should not affect you unless you are like really triggered by everything. If I decide I want to run a marathon and you're like, well, you can't do that. Why are you going to do that? Your feet are going to hurt. Your knees are going to hurt. You're too old. You're too this. You're too that. There's always going to be an excuse. Just like traveling. Oh, what are you running from? You're doing this. You're doing that. Or losing weight. Oh, why do you want to lose weight? You're going to change. Your personality is going to change. People aren't going to like you anymore. Like, what? Really? What are you talking about? Like, I don't understand why change brings out like your frenemies always. Or maybe one day you're gonna be like, I don't know, you want to move out of the city to the suburbs. People are like, oh, you changed. Like, someone's always saying, oh, you changed. Always. People are always like, oh, you've changed. And I just want to be like, good. Because now that I have changed, and yes, I did change. Was it because of travel? No. Did travel shine a spotlight onto what things needed to change in my life? Absolutely, 100%. But this doesn't have to be with travel. This can be with you making different life choices. Are you getting off this little rat race, this hamster wheel, and you saying, you know what, today I'm going to take a left and go home that way instead of taking a right. Or I'm going to go eat at a different restaurant. But we always go here. We always do this. Like, as soon as you change yourself, other people feel threatened, which I don't really know why. I think it's because they're afraid in themselves to actually do something to change their lives. So whenever you show initiative and you put yourself first, it always makes someone else feel inadequate. So yeah, so I don't know. I don't let these people affect me really. I watch all kinds of videos, and sometimes I get drawn down rabbit holes and I'm just like, what? But then you stop and you look and you think, why did this person feel the need to address something? So maybe I started working out more. I used to work out a lot more than I do now. And everyone always told me You work out too much. You eat too healthy. You're too this, you're too that. I've always been too something to somebody. Mainly because that person was either jealous because they couldn't get up and go to their yoga class at 9 a.m. or they couldn't go for a run, or they just didn't have the motivation, which really, that doesn't affect me. How is that my problem that you don't have the motivation to do something? But you want to put your negative opinions onto me, telling me that I'm too much of something, or I'm too this, or I'm running, or I'm doing this. Like, yeah, I already know all these things. And you're probably sitting there watching this video and be like, wow, she made a video because someone triggered her. That has nothing to do with this. What it has to do with is that I don't want you in your life to let other people convince you to not do something that you want to do. That's really the main thing. Is one of the reasons I started this channel, one of the reasons I started writing, is because I want to inspire people to know that there's someone in their corner who will not tell you it's a bad idea. I mean, unless you're going to do bodily harm to yourself or to somebody else, then I might be like, I don't think you should jump off that bridge without a bungee cord. Stuff like that. But I'm not going to judge you if you're like, I really want to take a year off and travel the world, and everyone's telling me no, and I'm going to be like, well, why? Do it and see. Because here's the real thing. If you start traveling, or you quit your job, or you go on this weight loss journey kick and you want to eat super healthy, what is the worst thing that's going to happen? The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to fail. And so what? Maybe after 6 months you realize you're like this guy and you hate traveling. Okay, go back home. Get a job. You'll never go back to your quote unquote normal life, because whenever you take on something, a challenge that's pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, you will always be changed. And it will be for the good, because then you're going to be like, wow, I did that for 6 months. Maybe you didn't do a year and you feel like a failure. But think of it as you did it for 6 months. Wow, that's amazing. Maybe you want to run a marathon, but you only ran a half a marathon. You still ran a half a marathon. Like, the trouble with the world right now is that we focus so much on the negative, like, oh, I failed that test the first time, but did you pass it the second time? Yes, okay, but then I don't understand your problem. Or like you want to get a degree, but everyone's telling you, don't get that degree. What are you going to do with it? People told me that all the time in college. I changed majors for that reason. And now I'm like, God, I let the haters win. Like, really? I listened to so many people telling me this, that it actually affected my life, and I still think about it. Like, it's almost like I would rather do and fail and then do it again and fail and do it again and then maybe succeed than to have never tried at all. Like, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a solopreneur, whatever you call it. I'm building a business. I have a business. Literally, I'm going to tell you right now. People are always like, Sarah, just come back and go to work. Just get a real job. Just do this. Just do that. Stop doing this silly YouTube. Stop doing your whatever. Like, but I would rather try and fail 100 times because I want to than listen to someone who's maybe just jealous because I took the leap to do it. So I don't know. I just want to, if you need motivation to do something and you're like really excited and everyone around you is like trying to tell you that you're stupid, just message me and I'll tell you you're not stupid. Like I said, as long as you're not doing bodily harm to yourself or someone else, I will usually be like, yeah, because the worst that's going to happen is you're going to fail. And who cares? You know what things I failed at? Like last month in my business, I made like less than $200. I consider that a failure. So what am I doing this month? I'm just going to have to re-strategize. I'm working on a new project. I have other things going on. I need to do more videos because last week I was like, I don't know. I get out of it. I get bummed out too. I mean, we all do. Like, things happen when you're traveling that happen at home. I sit and watch Netflix for 2 days straight and I'm like, my life is worthless. And then I'm like, today I wake up and I'm like, I feel better. I'm going to have some coffee. I'm going to record. I'm going to write. And that's just what you do. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world. Life is going to keep going on no matter where you're at. So, I don't know. Don't let the haters win. If you want to do something, do it. And yeah, travel is never an escape, but it does help you to realize what things in your life you do need to work on. And maybe I'm the eternal optimist and I think it's all going to work out because it is all going to work out no matter what. we all end up at the same place at the end, right? We all die. So why not have a little fun while you're doing it? Anyways, that's it for today. I rambled and rambled because, why? Because I'm really not good at scripting. I'm not good at staying on script, and I'm really good at blabbing. And thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.